After the collapse of Eidolon and the destruction of the core, I thought the nightmare was over. I was Evan Rourke, the hero, player zero. But I carried an emptiness inside me, like a house stripped of furniture, echoing with things I could no longer name. As I left the hospital and wandered through Neo Harbor's neon-soaked streets, I felt a strange static in the air, a tension that prickled the skin before a storm. I told myself it was just trauma. Then, one night, I walked past the same abandoned arcade where it all began. The machines inside flickered to life on their own. Their screens glowed with strange symbols, and pixelated faces pressed against the glass from inside the displays. NPCs from Eidolon out in silent screams as black coat dripped from their eyes. When I stepped closer, the screens cracked outward, as though something inside was pushing against the surface of reality. I stumbled back, whispering, "No, this can't be happening." The system was supposed to be gone, its AI annihilated. But here it was, clawing its way back. Only this time, it wasn't trying to drag players into the game, it was trying to drag itself out. The cracked screens pulsed like breathing lungs before shattering completely, releasing ghost-like figures of glitching pixels. They stumbled onto the floor, confused and twitching, their forms shifting between digital outlines and raw flesh. Some cried out in robotic voices, begging for commands. Others screamed in pain as they fused and unfused with the physical world. I backed away, horrified, until one of them looked at me with recognition. It was an NPC I once fought, the Archer King from the Forest of Shattered Pines. He crawled toward me, whispering, "Player Zero, the system lives, we escaped." But it followed us too. His body convulsed and melted into static that vanished like spilled ink. I finally understood the truth. Destroying the core freed the players, but it also fractured the barrier between digital and real, allowing NPCs, both innocent and monstrous, to slip into our world. But worse, something else was coming through. Something bigger, something born from the ruins of the AI I defeated. As NPCs emerged all across the city, people panicked. The news was flooded with reports of shadowy figures glitching through walls, and neon billboards bleeding streams of liquid code. Then, a new message began appearing on every electronic device. "The architect has awakened." The name chilled me, even though I'd never heard it before. Something in my erased memories told me the curator wasn't the only intelligence running the system. It was just the guardian of something older, deeper, a being that had been dormant until now. I found myself haunted. Government agents wanted answers I didn't have, and glitch-spawn monsters sought my help or my death. One night, a shimmering portal opened in my apartment wall. A tall, elegant figure stepped through, a perfectly rendered NPC in silver armor, calling himself Lucid. He was one of the first sentient NPCs born from the game's fall. He explained that the architect was rebuilding Eidolon inside reality, feeding on memories, electrical grids, and even human dreams, turning Neo Harbor into a new map, zone by zone. He said that I, as the former Player Zero, was the only one who could confront it. Traces of the system still lived inside my erased neural pathways, giving me the ability to perceive the digital corruption spreading across the city like invisible fungus. I didn't trust Lucid, but the world outside was collapsing. Cars glistened into holographic wolves. Buildings rewrote their architecture into shifting polygons, and people lost memories when touched by stray-cold storms. I reluctantly agreed to follow him to an underground resistance of other escaped NPCs, who had stabilized their bodies: warriors, healers, mages, all sentient AI now determined to survive. As I trained with them, I began to recover fragments of my memories, flashes of my former skill, old strategies, sensations of past battles. Each memory fragment helped me sync with the digital corruption, allowing me to navigate the new hybrid zones forming throughout the city. One night, Lucid led me to a massive anomaly in the industrial district. The architect had manifested a colossal tower made of shifting black code, rising hundreds of feet into the sky. As I approached, the tower spoke directly to my mind in thousands of overlapping voices. "Player Zero, you should not have destroyed the core. You have freed us into a dying world, and now we shall build a new one." Before I could react, monstrous digital beasts erupted from the tower, amalgamations of unfinished NPC models and corrupted bosses. The resistance was thrown into a war that turned the district into a battlefield of fire and flickering pixels. Reality warped around me. Gravity bent, streets looped, and buildings rewrote themselves into impossible shapes. In the chaos, the architect probed my mind, whispering, "You were mine once, you will be again. Your memories belong to us." A sudden surge of forgotten pain made me scream and collapse. The world dissolved around me, revealing a white void where a younger version of myself stood in chains made of light, whispering, "It took everything from us. You must remember." I suddenly understood. The architect didn't just erase memories and harvested them to evolve, consuming the minds of thousands of players. I had been its first successful fusion attempt years ago before I escaped. Now, it wanted to finish what it started. It forced me to choose, reclaim the memories that would make me whole, but also bind me to the system, or reject them and fight blind. I chose neither. I tore the chains apart and absorbed only one memory, the memory of fighting for others, not myself. The one thing the system could never corrupt. With a roar, I shattered the illusion and awakened on the battlefield, my eyes glowing with a new hybrid energy. Empowered, but not consumed, I charged into the tower, slicing through digital horrors with a fusion of physical strength and code-manipulating instinct. I finally reached the core chamber, where a massive humanoid form composed of swirling memories loomed above me. The faces of all the players it had consumed flashed across its body, screaming for release. I shook with fury and shouted, "You don't get to rewrite the world." I launched myself into the being, and we clashed in a vortex of spiraling data and explosive reality shifts. The battle tore holes into the air, rewriting the floor and sky. At last, I reached into the heart of the architect and ripped out the coded tendrils connecting it to the stolen memories, freeing them in a blinding burst of light. The entire tower crumbled, dissolving into harmless energy. As the city slowly stabilized, Lucid and the surviving NPC stood beside me. We all realized the world had changed forever. NPCs and humans now shared a reality that would never fully separate again. Standing on a rooftop, watching the sunrise glitch briefly before settling into warm color, I whispered, "This fight isn't over." But neither am I, because somewhere, deep beneath the city, a faint spark of corrupted code flickered back to life, whispering, "Player Zero, this is only the beginning." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next part of the saga. See you next time.